Alright, so we got to the second one of Feast, Sloppy Seconds, which it actually fits this movie. It is a direct sequel to the first film, except that, the survivors, like the two or the three survivors of the first that are not in this one, the wheelchair guy's brother is mentioned in this, but only because the sister of the biker girl that they sacrificed in the first film, who got blown up, she's looking for that guy to get revenge. And apparently the barkeep, the older guy had a heart attack during the final climax. He's alive and still injured in the neck. She pretty much takes him. Oh, she kills a dog right off the bat in the opening. Like, she literally a dog is whining to her, I guess. Not even about to attack her, but she is literally just shoots the dog, okay? And then, pretty much it's the same as the first, except it's not as good. At least the first film, it was like in one location and interesting, somewhat characters. Some that you can actually root for compared to this one, not really any. I guess maybe the lucha, wrestler, two brothers, I sort of cared for to an extent. But then their stuff started to get silly where they're fighting over the grandma because she gets puked on, along with other people, but yet, I guess, it only affects certain, whatever. But, it's basically that, and they're going to point A to point B. And also, you do have the blonde girl, Honey Pie, who's in the first film, the one that ditched everybody at the end. She's in this, and her character could just not even, she shouldn't even been in this, because she doesn't really interact with the other, the only time she interacts with the group of bikers and the older barkeep guy is in one scene where he's beating the crap out of her. Granted, he's getting revenge on her but for an older fella, he sure put her down. But he throws her out a window, and she still survives that, okay? And then she goes into it's like her story was like a standalone, where mainly, like, all she does is she's wandering around town, or she holds up in this one store, but then she wants to leave that store even though it's kind of safe, because she has a weapon, or weapons, somewhat. And she has, and the door is impenetrable, so, like, the creatures can't really get through it, unless they really, really go ham on that door. Or the ceiling, I guess, is kind of whatever. I guess they infect a cat at one point, because I swear, one monster's, like, banging the crap out of this one cat. And I guess that cat gives birth, which is whatever. But yeah, her character dies at the end, or dies, because she's in the third one. Which I'm like, because the way the movie ends, where everybody is supposed to be killed, I guess. Everybody's supposed to die at the end of this. Because, like, the creatures make it on the roof where everybody is at, and there's an autopsy scene where a character, the monster, they introduced this one thing with the monsters, which was kind of interesting, where even inside, like, after the monster's dead, like, it's still alive, to where it, like, inside its stomach or whatever, it has, like, an eye, like a giant cyclops eye, which is kind of interesting. It has, like, this weird tentacle thing that comes out, and then, of course, it squirts monster fluid all over everybody, and nobody was really infected, even though it was in people's mouths. It's all in their faces. It's, and there's, like, one scene where, the guy, I didn't understand why they didn't kill the one guy, because he literally killed a baby, because they hear a baby crying throughout the night, and then it's revealed it was in this car down there, and they go to try to save it, and of course they don't, they start shooting at the monster to try to slow it down, so because it's chasing the guy and the baby. Which I was laughing because the way this guy is holding the baby's like faced this way, almost like it's about to fall out of his arm. And then I felt bad for it because like it's crying because he literally just tosses it up in the air. It's like, sorry baby, and then just tosses it. And then nobody really gives him crap for what he did. He literally threw a baby up in the air to sacrifice it so he can save his own crap, his butt. And then, of course, the monster eats it, and, you know. And then all they do is, well, that's tough or whatever. And then they, like, just go on with... Then they decide to... Granted, one of the biker girls, or two of them, one of them dies early on. But then the one girl that gets slashed or whatever, she's still alive and able to run somehow, even though her intestine is hanging out. They decide to kill her, even though this guy, who also is cheating with the black guy's wife, which the wife is ridiculous in this movie, but they decide, instead of, you know, going for that guy who literally just sacrificed a baby to save his own hide, they're going to turn to the sisterhood of the bikers and literally, oh, sure, toss her over the roof. Which, and then I'm really on her side, because, like, yeah, you guys literally, you picked me over a guy who just literally had no hesitation to let a baby die so he can escape. What? And then they call him a baby killer at one point, but then they don't elaborate on, you know, how upset they are over that. Like, I didn't understand that. I mean, I know there's stuff going on, but still, you're trapped on the roof, and, you know, he did a horrible, terrible thing, and you guys don't really say much about it. So you call him names a little bit, or give him a dirty look, kind of, but then that's it. So yeah, this movie, I know a lot of people probably, I guess they do like it, because apparently it gets a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, 74% of the people liked it, I guess, or whatever. To each their own, I guess. I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's cool. I couldn't get into this. Even the way it's shot, it looks so cheap. Like, compared to the first film where, yes, that was low budget, but the way it was shot, it seemed like you can see that in the theater. This here, no, straight to DVD. And even the third film, which I'm dreading to watch, and I don't see it available to watch on this movie site that I'm watching from, but if I find it, you know, that will be a rant as well, because I hate the ending of that movie too. At least the first film had a good ending where at least three decent people survive. I didn't care about really anybody in this movie. I mean, maybe Honey Pie, but then she's doing dumb stuff where you literally have a place to, you know, stock up or try to survive in, kinda, in this little pharmacy-looking store, but there's still food there, and, you know, granted, rotten body at the counter, but whatever. But, and then you decide to leave that and just walk around, and so yeah. Oh, the actress who played Honey Pie, Jenny Wade, and actually, the acting in this is okay, like, fine, but, and Carl Anthony Payne II, who plays his character's name Slasher, who I guess he was supposed to be like a salesman or something, but kind of like a sleazy, to me he seems sleazy, fast talking, you know, jive talking, but again, it is a sloppy looking movie. Even at the nighttime scenes, it's shot like it's night vision, I swear. Like, it's weird the way it's shot at night. I didn't understand why they did that. It's directed by the same guy that did the first. He did all three of these movies, by the way. John Gulager. The budget was $2 million. I can see why it looks so really cheap. I wonder what the budget was for the first film. If they even say it. Nope, they don't. Well, that sucks. Anyway, if anybody would like to request a video, movie review, commentary, reaction videos, etc., please join my Patreon or PayPal, but Patreon mostly, which is I'm trying to still get the link to that correct. But I have a BitChute channel, which I'm trying to post videos also on. So I'll try to start doing that more as well. So that's also down below if anybody's interested in joining my BitChute channel, which is also Patreon connected to. So yeah, peace and love, and dreading for Feast 3, the happy finish.